Hi everyone, it's Louise with Louise here. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. And today we're playing with the color palette that I am making out of colors that I've already been using and want to burn up. So what I have here, I'm also probably going to make paint skins out of this for a charcuterie board because this is a really pretty color combination. Now, if you're new here, this is my pillow. And in a bloom technique, which this is, you have three components. You have your pillow, which is made out of the Glidden 6011N. And I'm going to lay that down first. This is the base that all the paints will ride on top of as they float to their destination across this coaster. So basically it's just a vehicle that moves the paints as they get blown over the top. And now here are my colors. And the interesting about these colors is that most of these are only single colors. And for me, if you've been following me, you'll know that most times when I'm putting down my colors here, I am calling out multiple 2 or 3 colors within a color at a time. And this time, all but one is a single. So this is Artist's Loft Aqua Green, which is this guy. Really pretty color. It's an opaque too. This is Artez's Pearl Glacier Blue. My consistency is always about 2 to 3 seconds once I'm drizzling it off the stick for it to settle back into the paint. So it'll leave a trace where you can see where it's been drizzled for 2 to 3 seconds. And then it kind of falls back into the paint that you can't even see. See how it just lays on top for a second and then it submerges flat. This is a TLP, and this is TLP Hammerhead. Now these are all colors I have used for a serving tray, a Lazy Susan, and now I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make some coasters too. And this Hammerhead's gorgeous. This is Amsterdam's Bluish Green. And the colors here are mixed with a pouring medium. And the pouring medium that I use to mix in the colors is a combination Valspar 833124 and MinWax. And it's about 2 parts paint, 2.5 parts paint-ish, to 1 part MinWax, gloss MinWax. I'm linking above the pouring medium video 140 above. And you mix that to your paints until you get the right color consistency, but at least 3 to 1, at least 3 to 1 ratio. But if you're using Golden or Amsterdam, you probably can get away with less than that ratio, because those paints are more highly pigmented. This is Payne's Gray, which is a combination of Golden and Arteza. Now, here I have my American Floetrol CA Activator recipe, video 141. It works like a champ. You'll see in a second. It's an 8-minute video. I'll link it above. It shows you how I make my CA Activator and what ingredients go in it. That's the titanium white. Here's the oxide black. And here we go. So I usually talk through the blow, but instead I'm going to do a commercial break here where you can actually see the blow in person at the Fluidart Boutique in DC from the 6th to the 8th of August. I'll be there with 7 other artists. I want to announce that there's a $20 off sale happening from July 3rd to midnight July 6th. If you want to sign up and save yourself some money, this is the time to do it. For my classes, I have 3. I'll be teaching the art of the blow, and I'll be showing you how to make coasters, the face of a clock on a CD, and a jar lid for a jar creation. Please join me and the other 7 artists. I'll also be talking about how to apply your blooming to functional art. So if you have the means and the time, please join us there. We're going to have a lot of fun. Very uneven. But you know what? I've had bad blowouts that turn out good, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna pass judgment yet. But look at how the cell activator's working. Look at that. That's American Floetrol cell activator. Look how well that's bounced back. So if you're not inclined to buy the Australian, nothing against the Australian, because the Australian works great. And it is definitely easier because there's just mixing one part to one part. Paint to Floetrol. In my recipe, there's a few components to it. But you save yourself a lot of money with something that's going to work equally well. Actually, to be honest, for me, I actually prefer my American Floetrol cell activator. So for anyone newer here, all I'm doing here is pulling the pillow to the edge and over the sides so that when I get ready to spin it out, the paint composition will have a nice place to flow to. It pretty much works. The only time I had a little difficulty with it was in the winter when it was cold down here. It got a little sluggish on me. And that's actually when I went to the Australian. So I had an alternative. All's well that ends well. All right, let's give this thing a whirl. This color combination, you cannot go wrong with it. It is beautiful. And I do have a theory about how I layer my paints, but I'm not going to just give that away because that has been arrived at after a lot of evaluation. But I will probably share it in my class in Washington, D.C. during the Fluidart Boutique, because I got to give you something special there. And I've been accused of opening my mouth up too much. I tell too much. I tell too much. I also know when to keep my mouth shut. And that's an area that I have proprietary rights over. My theory, which is actually very much in direct conflict with what I heard at the Fluidart experience. I think exactly differently. So I guess it's whatever works for people. But this works for me. I think the results speak for themselves. Speaking of Fluidart experience, I'm going to share with you something that I got from there in a second. I'm going to clean this up. And I'm not saving my paint so much anymore because I just don't have room. I don't have room. So I've been using these paper straws since the Fluidart experience. And actually, I think this is the only one I've been using the whole time. Haven't needed to clean it. Have never needed to stop using it. And somebody from the Fluidart experience had brought these straws. They're paper straws. And can you guess what the magic is in those paper straws? It's paper, not plastic. So, the spittle, that was something, I don't know what that was. The spittle that gets in the straw that blows through because it condensates, and then when you blow, you're blowing it through. It doesn't happen with a paper straw because paper's paper. Paper absorbs water. So if there's moisture in there, it's getting absorbed. So this is done, guys. So I'm going to clean the bottoms, but right now I'm going to show you as well. You always want to clean the bottoms before you put it to bed, but this is it. Look at that. Unbelievable. Ready for summertime. So everyone, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell and all. That way you'll get all my future tutorials as they come out. Also, I'd really love it if you give me a thumbs up and also leave me a comment. I get back to everyone. And remember that limited offer on the Fluidart Boutique that's coming up in August. At the end of this, I'm going to have a link to my other playlists for other coasters if you want to see other color combinations and other results. And another reminder, if you do have a particular problem or a particular question, I have my email listed in the description. Just reach out to me. I can answer your question directly, or if needed, come up with a customized and personalized tutorial addressed just to you. So that's all, everybody. Thanks a lot for being here, and we'll see you next time.